All right, welcome back, everyone. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Black Friday. Feels like Christmas morning or something. Just feels like we shouldn't be here. But let's show up. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back. Welcome back. November gone? Yeah, last day in November today. And that is that. Good month. Very good month. Very good month. Right around 20,000 for the month for me. Go ahead and pull that up. Not including, well, partially including the Tesla swing that is looking really good. Continuing to hold that Tesla swing, which has been fantastic so far. Pull that up real quick. It is cold out. It is cold out. So here is my month. It's been a good, slow, steady, nice and easy month. 17,413 right now. Tesla swing probably puts me right around that 20,000 mark. That's unrealized though. So looking good. You know, nothing crazy, but I'll take a $20,000 month. Was pretty sweatless, pretty stress-free. Lot less trades, as you can see. So pretty nice. Very happy about it. Very happy about it. If I can do $20,000 months every month, just consistently, that's all you need. I'd like to do more, though. We'll work our way up to it. We've had some big months. We've had our six-figure months. We've had our, we've had our five-figure, six-figure months in both directions. This one's a nice, easy 17, 20K. So happy about that. It's been a great month. I feel like we've been pretty locked in lately. I think we've had some nice action over the last week, which was very surprising to have that strong action on the market. Hopefully you guys did well also. Futures are down this morning. So CME saying that they're having some trouble with the servers. And it looks like they said it's going to come back live at 8:30. So we'll be here when it comes back live. I'm assuming we'll have some less people in the group today. A lot of people probably taken off, as they probably should be. And we probably shouldn't be here either. But hey, we'll hang out. See what today provides. But definitely a chill day. Definitely a chill day. Yeah, I sort of want to open up the windows. I think I might do that, actually. I'll do that after the stream. All right. Well, we can't really look at NASDAQ and ES. We can talk about them, and how this has happened, how the move higher has happened. Before we do that, excuse me. For any of you out there that aren't part of the group already, I wanted to sweeten the deal just a little bit for you. If you are interested, or if you've never joined the group before and you are interested, and you didn't take advantage of the better deal, which was the yearly deal, I'm going to give you $25, 25% off. The 25% off the community for 3 months, just to check it out into the new year. All right, you're like, hey, I want to try this out into the new year, into December, January, February, 3 months. You get 25% off. So it's $150 a month for 3 months. And it will go back to the $200 per month after that. So that's on you if you want to cancel it or not. But welcome to try it out for the first 3 months for $150. And it's for new members only. So if you've never joined before, if you've never been a part of our ecosystem, then it will work for you. And you just go ahead and go down to the link below and press code, or use code BF. So something that's just going to expire. It expires Sunday. So just a little one, little something. The main deal that we did was the yearly deal, which that was a steal. And a lot of you guys that joined that are already seeing some messages saying, hey, I already paid for the year and 1 or 2 trades. So well done to those individuals. But if you want to try it out on a more monthly basis, go ahead and check it out down below. Feel free. New members only. And that will be active until Sunday. So there you go. Use code BF, link down below in the description. All right. Okay. All right. So, yeah, no movement on the futures. Nothing really to show here. However, the move that's gotten us here is really clean, very clean, and I would expect more. Bear with me today. It was a long day yesterday. But heading into today, I guess we're going to see where the futures open at 8:30. We can get a little bit of a sign because of where the SPY is. The SPY is basically flat as well. It has been trading, but it's basically flat. We can see that the NASDAQ futures, I'm not sure where it's going to open at 8:30, so it's hard for me to say right now, but the NASDAQ futures did close Wednesday right at this major supply level. So that is very interesting, right? We moved right into our 25,310, 25,360, which is, man, it's right at the supply level. 25,360, 25,310. That is right at these 4-hour highs. I actually might push these 4-hour highs a little bit higher. Let me make sure I encompass this this high here. Okay, yeah, I need to change this, so bear with me. This needs to be 25,388. 25,388. That's where that needs to be, right there. So you can see, if we're looking at this 4-hour chart, right, look at where these highs are. Actually, this high is even higher, 25,394. Okay, let me put that on. I want to have the highest high over there. 25,394 is actually where I want that level. So you can see 25,394 right there, right here, rejection, rejection, and look at where we closed Wednesday of this week. So that is super interesting today. Do we need, and I still think you do we still need this move lower to create that higher low down here? I think that is a very real possibility, and I would be aware of that moving forward, okay? So, yep, I got the case of yawns this morning. Apologies for that. But you can see right here, the market had a Friday high that turned into a low, right? We had a break and retest that created an upside. Friday high, turning into a low. We have a Monday high that has not turned into a low yet, right? It has not been tested. So what I would expect at some point in the future is that the market is going to want to test that Monday high right here, right? So a downside move off this supply from this point, I don't believe is bearish. Do I think it is a potential downside trade? Yes, there is a possibility of maybe a little bit of a rejection up here, as there was here and as there was here. That's a possibility. And that downside, in my opinion, would take you to this Monday high, right around that 25,000 mark. And if that does occur, and we see this get bid back up off 25,000, that is the exact structure that you want to see for upside, right? So for the upside to be super strong, you actually want to see us go down, right? Think about that. A lot of people don't understand that concept. If you move lower here and create this as a new low, that's actually the strongest thing to happen on this market, in my opinion. Because that is the same thing that happened on Tuesday of this week, right? We had a Monday upside. If we would have extended ourselves on Monday and then gapped up, right, and then continued higher, that would have been, I think, that would have been a little bit more of a frothy upside move that would have been more likely to be given back. But what we got on Monday into Tuesday was a Monday breakout and a Tuesday pullback, which provided that strong structure move. So we had the Tuesday low was the Friday high. So that's the same thing you want to see, right? You don't want to see this market start running away, getting frothy with gap ups, gap ups, gap ups. You want to see the market pull back, hold the gap, or fill the gap, and hold the previous high, and continue to do that as it moves higher in a clean structuring move higher, right? That's what you'd prefer. So we'll see if today does provide maybe that pullback long opportunity again, the same way it did it on Tuesday, right? Right there. Maybe we get that again here. You want to see that happen at a higher high, higher low. So that's your high. You'd like to see it happen right here, right? That's ideal. If we just, get above the 25,310, 25,395 today, 394, and we hold above it, then yeah, you're going to extend yourself and you're not going to pull back to this level. So we're going to have to see what occurs there. But just approach this market with a very mature mindset. Pullbacks are good right now as long as they're holding above previous highs. That's what you're looking for. S&P 500, you can see the Monday high never got retested, right? You have the Friday high that got retested on Tuesday, but you do not have a Monday high retest. You have not gotten the pullback to 67.30, 67.25. So the question is this going to extend itself and potentially give us that pullback at a later date? That's possible. I would be watching this Monday high for a future pullback. That's the same thing you were watching this Friday high earlier this week for a pullback right here, right? Right here. What about right here? We haven't tested it. So that's sort of interesting to me, watching for that 67.30 pullback at some point in the future. I think that is a possibility. Now, this doesn't have to happen because the market is, maybe back in a momentum mode that it's just going to go back to all-time highs. And so Congratulations, I guess, first of all, to those that paid attention to the live stream. We were pretty much calling for the bottom of the market on Monday of this week, and it's been a fantastic week of straight upside. You're basically 1% off all-time highs again, and the 10% or whatever 6% pullback this was on the ES was once again a buying opportunity. So congratulations to those that took advantage of that. You guys know that we were talking about that pretty much on a daily basis, so that was pretty perfect. Now, the levels that I would like to see hold, probably between the 67.90, 68.12, right in here, 67.91, 68.12.25. Those are that's the new low that you would like to see hold, right, between these highs, this high, and the high from right here. If you can continue to maintain above that demand, which was perfect holds on Wednesday, right, 67.90, 68.12. If you can hold above that, you're going higher, right? But what is that, what is the market showing you? It's showing that you still haven't retested that Monday high here. You had a nice retest here, right? Right there into lows, right here into lows. Hasn't happened yet, right? So do we need that little one of these right there? We might, right? And what will happen on that day is you'll have the people that panic, right? Selling into this move, getting scared, and then you'll see this. So if you understand that this Monday high has not been retested, if you get downside, you're going to be thinking in your mind, okay, this is probably that Monday pullback, that pullback we need back to that Monday high. Let's pay attention to see if that holds. So that's something I would be watching. That doesn't happen until you break under 67.91, and even under 67.91, you got a daily 20, daily 50. So it's going to need a pretty strong downside move to get through all these areas of now support that are higher. So we'll see. But area of support for sure, area of rejection, 68.50, 68.57. That is right here. So if I go to the hourly chart, you can see right here, we have these previous lows, previous highs, previous lows, which you can see we have traded right into on the S&P. If you get above 68.57, 68.50, turn that back into support. I mean, you're pretty much at all-time high, 6,900 at that point. So we shall see. Okay. Let's pull up Interactive Brokers. 1 second, bear with me. I'm going to show you guys the dip buys that I made. Those are doing really well. I think we're up a little bit over 7,000 on those. So this is going to be like maybe a portfolio that we can track together. That was sort of the goal of this. It's sort of like a community dip buying portfolio. So I'll go ahead and pull that up. 1 second. So here it is. This is, which one is this? This is the dip buying portfolio, I believe. I got 2 in here. Press that like button if you guys could. Subscribe to the channel if you are here today. I know there will be less people here today, but hey, still every opportunity to press that like button. There we go. All right, so here's our little $50,000 dip buy account. Up 6,600 from Wednesday's close. Probably going to be up more today, actually. Yeah, if you look at today, up 7,300. So that's nice. Broadcom looking great. Meta dip buy looking great. Microsoft dip buy looking great. Hood shares looking fantastic. Already up $15 a share on those right there. That's great. UNH up around $10 a share. Meta up around $20 a share, just about. WDC up around $10 a share. MP up around $2 a share. AMD up basically flat. Oclo basically flat. Zoom slightly down on some Zoom shares, and AbbVie slightly down on some of those shares as well. But yeah, that's what I dip bought on Monday of this week. So basically the start of this week, I threw in about 50K. And I'm on a little bit of margin, as you can see, but I'm making sure my SMA is positive. This number has to stay positive, and I'm comfortable with a little bit of margin here because I have plenty more cash to put in here if I need to be. But so far, so good. These leaps are looking great. Very happy to just continue to maintain these. Really just sort of a chill, hey, let these babies bake, let them sit. That's what I'm doing with those. Not even any interest in even really managing them at this point. So looking really good there. And then on this portfolio here, this is the day-to-day scalping portfolio, which we've taken from 30,000 to 50,000. And this Tesla position should be up. Let's see, can I get the updated? I think I can go here. Yeah, this Tesla position should be up around $1,600 unrealized this morning. And I love the way that Tesla looks right now. And December 19th, so December monthly 415 calls in the money. And yeah, looking good, really good, man. So really good decisions, I think, on Monday of this week. Really good decisions to dip by some, have some. If I had 50,000 laying around, and I was like, hey, let me just buy some shares. Like, let me not get stupid with this. Let me not just focus on intraday trading and zero DTE trading. Let me just go ahead and buy some shares and like see what 50,000 can turn into in a few years from now from this little dip buying opportunity. But we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this thing all reverses. But so far, a great call, up around $7,000. So pretty much around 10-12% already across the higher account, just from dip buying that Monday low. So really good. So that's that. That's the portfolio. Yeah, can't really hide. I mean, here you go. Here's my account. If you guys know Interactive Brokers, if this was a paper trading account, you would see this big red bar across the top that says, this is a simulated trading account. So, I mean, here you go. All right. So nice there. Very happy with that opportunity that the market presented us. Especially excited about, what the possibilities are here on Meta. Especially excited about the possibilities on this Broadcom rip, which has been looking fantastic. And especially excited about this Microsoft dip that I think is super opportunistic. There's obviously others like UNH. Hood was great. Hood's ripping back higher. Palantir over 170, still very interesting to me. That Aklo dip buy still sitting down there. So there's a lot of opportunity, man. Stock like Aklo down 50%. Stock like Palantir down 20-30% from the highs. Take advantage of it. That's all I got to say. Palantir, one of the best performing stocks, down 30% from the highs. You gotta throw something in that, no? So looking for that 170 on that one. But anyways, gold and silver obviously halted this morning alongside the futures because of the CME down the servers being down, whatever the hell the problem is, who knows. Before they went down, though, gold was looking really good for a breakout here. We are holding above that 41.85, 41.90 spot, looking really good there. Silver hit new all-time highs, I believe. SIL, just about. So these are looking good again. So I think that could be something to watch into end of week. See how gold and silver react. They look strong. SMH, right on edge, similar to the NASDAQ. It's right at that key supply level. Can the SMH get above 350, 348? That's something I would be watching. AMD, really interesting watch. Actually, let's just go through our normal stocks to watch. So first one is Tesla. I think there is something very important to be said about the holds now above this key area here. This 414.50 level has turned back into support. I would pay attention to this, man. I really would. So you can see here on Tesla, you have these major lows that kept Tesla up for months, right? Holding. It turned it into a rejection point temporarily, pulled back into the daily 100 SMA, pulled back into our golden zone demand. And you can see, look at how Tesla is starting to engulf this area, and it is now holding back above this demand. So if Tesla can turn these lows back into a new, very strong support, I see no reason that Tesla does not trade back to these highs at 465, 470. All right. If Tesla has now established a new low at these lows again, then what's the likely move? Probably a trade back up into channel high. And channel high is 465, 470. So I'm very excited to see what Tesla can do, into end of month, into end of year. So that's definitely something that I am watching. Okay. Hold on. I gotta take care of something. 1 second, guys. So definitely keep an eye on Tesla, I would say, into end of year. Yeah, let's look at the weekly chart, actually. It's a good call. Let me take that weekly chart out. Yeah, the weekly looks sick, no? Weekly does look pretty sick. Sure does. Look at that weekly. You got your lows, you got your highs, you got your nice pullback here. You got your nice reclaim of that 414.50, 2021 high. I don't really see any resistance on this weekly until that 465, 470, to be honest. If this is a true weekly chart, you know, pull back long, there's really no resistance up until those highs. So we'll see. Just got to trust it, right? You got to trust it. You got to trust it. You can't. The thing that you can't do on Tesla, especially when you read the intraday action the last few days, right? You can't allow this micro nonsense and micro noise to take you out of a bigger picture trade idea, right? Tesla has not and will not go up like this, okay, and make everyone very warm and fuzzy. That's not how it's going to happen. It's not going to make you warm and fuzzy. You know, we hope for days like this, like Monday, that's sick. But not every day is going to be like that, right? You're going to get these drops, these pops, these drops, these pops. It's going to hold these demand lows. It's going to have these panic attack drops, but it's still going to maintain demand. And you can't allow these short-term, hour, 2-hour downside moves to take you out of a trade that looks like this, right? That looks like this. Just can't do it. That's how you end up just panicking out of a position. So, time and patience is my goal here for this trade. So we'll see. All right, let's move on. Let's go to Broadcom. Broadcom, easily the strongest semiconductor right now. Maybe MU fighting it for the top title of strongest semiconductor. But Broadcom, beautiful holds, previous highs. That 370, 375 level turned into absolutely awesome pullback longs all of this week, right? Look at this high. Look at the pullback longs from Tuesday. Look at the pullback longs from Wednesday. Just perfect drop, pop, drop, pop. Beautiful opportunities. This is what you look for to prove that a demand level is a demand level, right? This is what you look for to prove that the buyers are here, right? Broadcom would not bounce like this both times off this zone if buyers were not present right here. So nice, strong demand, 370, 375. Any pullback to that point in the future, I think, continues to be opportunity. Even down into that daily 20 is an opportunity, in my opinion. I just think Broadcom pretty much shines, continues to shine as a strong semiconductor, and that's why I bought those 400 leaps, which look like they're going to be in the money here pretty soon, which is great. So Broadcom definitely continues to be a watch for upside. MU also beautiful bounce back move, really a structured bounce back as well. So if you guys remember on MU, we had this low right here. You can see this low right here, and we were looking for MU to turn that back into support. Well, if you look at MU, look what happened on Tuesday. Beautiful. Break, retest, hold. Perfect reclaim ripper, right? That's the reclaim ripper. And if you want to see a little reclaim ripper, here's a little sneak peek at the reclaim ripper, actually. Here's a sneak peek at the reclaim ripper. The reclaim ripper. There it is. The Dark Roast Insiders Coffee Co. Reclaim Ripper. But yeah, you can see right there. Lows, break, retest, hold, reclaiming that low, reclaim ripper. So really nice move, very clean on MU. And now look at what this is doing. This could be another reclaim ripper. Here's a low, here's a high, reclaiming it. Can it do another move like that, right? Can you have a low, higher low, higher low, high, higher high, higher high? And can you get that same low to reclaim here and continue higher off of that? So definitely watching the 228, 231 zone on MU. On top of that, what is sitting right there? It's the daily 20, right? I mean, how perfect is that? So really nice there on MU. Definitely watching that. AMD, I like the comeback. Believe it or not, it's been weak, but it continues to trap the shorts, right? That's really what the most important thing to pay attention to is here, is that we continue to trap the shorts. Everyone that keeps trying to short under this this gap right here at 203 has now been massively trapped on 2 daily candles right off the daily 100 SMA. So I am in the boat that AMD is not filling this gap. I really am. I don't think you're going to get a gap fill on AMD. I'd be pretty surprised to see it happen after what we've seen here on the daily chart. 2 massive daily wicks underneath that 203 and trapping anyone trying to short it into this daily 100 SMA. I'm actually on the boat of a failed move lower becoming actually a bullish move. What would I like to see? I think you want to see AMD clear out this supply right between here. You have this little area here between 219 and 225, right here, right here. You can see here's your lows, here's some lows. If AMD can do one of these flips like this, that's your reclaim ripper right there, right? If you can flip back over this low, flip back over this low, turn this back into support, that is exactly what I'm looking for. And you can see I have 2 alerts set, just waiting to see if that happens. NVIDIA, really not much again for me. It needs to get over 185. Without that, I'm really not interested. So I think the top semis to watch are AMD, MU, and Broadcom. Those are by far, to me, the most interesting semis right now. All right, let's see where the futures open. Futures opening at 8:30 today. Hopefully they do open. And they did. Okay, there's your little gap up. Wow, look at this. Squeeze. Anything squeezing with it? Not really. Nothing really squeezing with it. Press that like button. Gold. Down. Silver. Not much. This is going to be a screwed up day. I'm going to tell you that right now, my friends. This is going to be a screwed up day. Because who the hell knows how this is going to trade now? It just seems wonky to me. Yeah, I mean, God bless your soul if you're putting on large size today. Bless your soul. That's crazy. But yeah, interesting. We'll see. I mean, look at this, rejecting right at 3. Look at this, rejecting right at 394. I'd be shocked to see that not. I just don't. Now I just don't trust the futures, right? It's like, what is the reaction going to be to this? And what's the, how legitimate am I going to, how legitimate, like, is there going to be enough volume to be clean? Are the levels going to react because of, you know, how's the volume going to, it's just all about the volume now. Is there going to be volume in the futures? Today's going to be a half day, so there's really going to be no volume in the first place. I mean, I'm not going to go put on a futures trade right now because I have no idea what it's going to react or how this is going to react to an 8:30 open on a CME, you know, just shit the bed. So, yeah, I don't know. Just a lot of trust issues, I guess you could say today. A lot of trust issues. All right, let's continue. Let's go to Meta. Hey, man, this is one of those definitely share opportunities in my book. You know, you guys know I've been buying Meta shares. I've been talking about it. I was buying it at the 660s, so I was down on those. I was buying it in the 620s. I was buying it back at the 600s. So I was just sort of, you know, dipping into that downside move on Meta. And I'm going to continue to trust that. I don't see how, you know, this opportunity of 20-something% on Meta is not something that I will look back at in my future life. 27% downside on Meta. Give me a few years. Let me wake up in, you know, 2-3 years, and I think I'm going to be pretty damn happy with my decision to you know, get into some Meta shares down here. So if you have a long-term mindset, then this is pretty much a no-brainer in my book. If you're too, if you're too focused on the day-to-day, then, maybe it doesn't look as good to you. But big picture, I love it. We got the leaps. I bought them on Monday of this week, so looking really good for now. You still got some levels that you need to break, so I'm sure you're going to get the Timmies and Jimmies that come into the live stream tomorrow and say, Desi, what a terrible call. Meta's down 2% today. It's going to be down 2% during this move higher, right? I mean, it's just, you're not going to just go straight up, my friend. So if you're saying I love Meta for a dip buy and it goes down 1% and then you get scared out of a dip buy, then you have no business dip buying in the first place. So this stock will not go straight up. It will probably find some pullbacks along the way. And those are, probably opportunities, to be honest. But 617, this 603 weekly pivot, big spots down here. You're likely going to reject 642. That's a major supply rejection. You can see here, 642. I'm assuming you're going to reject 642 again. So, maybe we get another pullback back down to that 617, right? Maybe we get that nice higher low that sets up, that creates that next upside move. And then maybe that gives you that new opportunity to buy some Meta down here in the daily 20, right? So you can't dip buy Meta here and then panic out of it here. You can't do it. So overall, I love the Meta dip buy. Weekly chart looks like something to pay attention to. You can see the nice weekly candle that's coming off this big weekly pivot at 603. And I would continue to pay attention to that. Another one that I think is a fantastic buying opportunity, and we've called this pretty much, we've called Meta out from the start, before it even went down. So this week, I think the early of November, we said Microsoft should come down to these highs, which it did. And then we also bought it at these highs. So we called it down, and we're calling it back up. So we wanted Microsoft to pull back to this weekly high. It did that. Now it's starting to hold that, and now it's time to take a position, right? So really nice. You can see right here, that's the level I want to be long off of. That's a weekly major high. It's also a monthly major high. If we can maintain that on Microsoft, I love this potential. You also cannot go wrong with buying a stock like Microsoft, in my opinion, at the 200 SMA. It's very rare. I mean, in a market that's not panicked, that's not going straight down, I mean, a stock at the 200 SMA is a great, great opportunity in my book. So it's been great since we bought it. We'll see if it can continue. This is just straight up for now, so I'm sure there will be some legs lower that will panic people out of it. But daily 200 SMA, Microsoft, I think that's a no-brainer as well. So that's another leap that I picked up. I like that a lot. So we'll keep an eye on that one. ES, what are we doing? We're just sitting here. Yeah, nothing. Okay. What else? What else on this beautiful Friday afternoon? Google, we'll go Google. Oh, IBIT. IBIT, man, it did it. So I bought the IBIT. Oh, did I have to end up selling my IBIT shares? Yeah, I did. So I had to sell my IBIT shares to keep above my margin requirement on this account. I was below my margin requirement, so I had to start selling some stuff, and I just took a little bit of IBIT off. Maybe I get back into that, but I did have to do that because of the margin. I was over my margin requirement, unfortunately. But IBIT, maybe I just need to put some more cash in the account. IBIT, I would keep watching this dip buying opportunity, guys. This is a nice flip on IBIT today, right here, right here. Look at these highs. Look at the flip. Bitcoin is also back in the 90,000 zone. So, I mean, this is looking pretty damn good so far. Look at the weekly chart on Bitcoin. Nice little dip buying off this demand low. Looking pretty spicy for now. Now, Bitcoin can be down 10, 15% in a night, or 10%. So obviously you got to trust the thesis here. But nice opportunity it looks like. And I like that IBIT back above that 50, 20, 50, 65 spot right here, right? Here's your lows, here's your lows, here's your highs, here's your nice little flip. So if we can maybe get a pullback here and then a rip, that would be beautiful. That would really be beautiful. Nice low, higher low. Give me a higher low here. Give me that nice structure, right? And give me a new entry point off these lows here. If we get that, I think that's a buy. So I'm going to create an alert there, see if we can get a pullback. Hood. Nice upside. Coming up into a major supply here at 134, 134 in the daily 50. This would be the money spot right here. If you can get a pullback to that, I doubt you will. But watch that daily 20. Watch this major demand. This is a great flip so far on Hood. If you go to the daily chart, look at how we flipped back over that 100 SMA. Look at how we flipped over these daily lows. This is fantastic. All right, engulfing all of this short side action. Just total engulfing. So in like a day. Just so super strong comeback here. Watch this daily 100 as an opportunity. This looks great. Palantir over 170 is definitely a watch here. Major daily lows. Can you engulf that? Get above the daily 100 just like Hood. Over 170, that's a big watch for me. Coinbase, definitely something to keep eyes on if Bitcoin and IBIT continue to be strong. 277 in the daily 200. If you can flip back over that daily 200 SMA, that could be something to pay attention to there. Oklo, still definitely being a dip buying and patient buyer of Oklo here at 80, 85. I think that's a great looking watch still. I know it hasn't done much yet, but still definitely something worth watching. UNH, dip buyer here as well. I'm definitely keeping eyes on this UNH. It's right here. If we go to the 4-hour chart, you have these previous highs. Oh, sorry about that. Let me zoom in here if TOS allows me. Okay, there we go. We have UNH previous 4-hour highs right inside of this 326 to 328, 327 area, right in here. So you can see this 4-hour. You have these previous very clear highs right here. Bam, bam, bam. See those 4-hour highs right there? And that is right here. So definitely watching to see if UNH can hold above that area. That's also now what? The daily 20. So I love that little comeback potential on UNH still. You guys know we've been talking about this weekly chart. This weekly chart is starting to look like a higher low sort of, potential. You have this left shoulder, you have this downside move, you have this nice flip, right? Little flip, and then look at this little curling action starting to show up here. So I like that. Right in there between that 316, 300 area. Nice wicking weekly chart right there. Wicking weekly candle right there. And you're starting to curl and you're starting to hold back above this 326 spot. If you can do that, I like that. And the daily 20 reclaim, I'm definitely watching this for continuation. So keep an eye on UNH very closely as well. So I think some awesome opportunities out there in the stock market right now. I hope that you're paying attention to them. Looks like we are moving higher on the NASDAQ. It looks like we are moving slightly higher on the ES. The ES isn't open, huh? Is the ES open? I think it's open. Yeah, it's open. What's Tesla doing? Yeah, not much. Okay. Broadcom, Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, Amazon. Oh, the Amazon 228 could be a nice watch today. Yeah, this is nice. This is still a nice watch. Keep an eye on this. Keep an eye on this. Daily 100, daily 50, 228 Amazon. Keep an eye on that. All right, guys, that's going to be it. So far, so good. Looking really good on the dip buying portfolio. Looking really good on the thesis that the market has found that little November low. Again, if you want to join the insiders trading community, if you haven't joined before, you can check us out down below. There's a code. Press that link. Use code BF. And it's for new members only. So feel free to check that out. Hope you guys have a fantastic Black Friday. I'm going to probably spend, I don't know, maybe I'll spend a few hours looking for some trades today, or at least just hanging out with the group. Oh, Google? Yeah, let me look at Google real quick. Yeah, Google looks pretty nice, huh? Right here. That's a nice spot. 317. Keep an eye on that. Right here is the next pullback level there, Chef. But that 317, 318 spot is looking pretty spicy. If you can get that little break, I'd watch this. I also think this is the best pullback long, 310. Apple, it's all about 277, but all right, guys, If you could, before you head out, please press that like button so we can get to 1,000 likes today. You know, a little bit of a smaller crew today just because I know a lot of people are probably taking the day off, as they should. All right, that's it. Come hang out with us in the group if you want. If not, I will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Have a great Friday. Don't spend too much money out there. Save some for investments. That's my Black Friday. We went Black Friday shopping last Monday. Or this Monday. I'll see you guys Monday. Peace and love.